Tonight we're going to do something really amazing. It's lasagna, and it's called Lasagna Love. Lasagna Love isn't just about food, it's about community. It's a special effort that came about as a result of the quarantine and COVID. And I have a really spectacular friend joining me tonight, and we're going to share a lasagna recipe and talk a little bit about Lasagna Love. Can't wait to get started. Again, if you haven't already, subscribe. Stay Delightful Dundalk. A dear friend and a local criminal defense attorney. I'm not advocating anybody getting in trouble for anything, but if you do, you can ask my friend. Her name is Beth Franzoso. She's not here today to talk about criminal activity, but she's the expert. Anyway, we're here to talk about Lasagna Love. Everybody loves lasagna, right? But that's really not what Lasagna Love is about. It's not about the recipe. It's not about cooking and enjoying lasagna. Well, it is, but it's really about giving back to your community, friends. So we're actually Dundalk granddaughters. I live here in Dundalk now. I founded this channel, Delightful Dundalk, and she lives right across the river in Medina. Anyway, Beth, tell me a little bit about Lasagna Love and why you got involved.
Lasagna Love is a great way to help each other in the community during this difficult time. What it involves is, if you want to volunteer, you make a lasagna. You can make one, you can make 5, you can do it every week, every month, one time, however much you're comfortable with. And then someone will sign up to be a recipient in the same area. That you can choose a mile radius in your community, and then you'll get a match every week, every month, every 2 months, or whatever you choose. And then you'll make the lasagnas and take the lasagnas to the person who is in need. If you're interested in receiving a lasagna, there are no specific criteria for getting the lasagna. You can just be having a hard time at the moment, or just feel like you need a good, warm, home-cooked meal. You don't have to fill out any paperwork or anything like that, or tell anybody anything about your personal life. Just say you want a lasagna. Go on the portal. It's www.lasagnalove.org.com, but Google Lasagna Love, it'll come up.
We're gonna put it in the notes. So wait a minute. So one day I just have a bad day. I'm here in Delightfully Dundalk, and I'm tired. My kids are exhausting me. I can just go to Lasagna Love, and somebody will deliver me a hot lasagna?
Yes, it won't necessarily be that day, but what you'll do is you'll go on there and you'll sign up, and then within the ideal is within 24 to 48 hours, somebody will come back to you with a response, and then you'll coordinate the delivery date and any specifics that you might want. Like if you are vegetarian or have an allergy to something, or if you really like a lot of cheese or whatever it is, you know, the person will send you a text and ask you what you'll make the lasagna and schedule a date. Like, you know, you might sign up on Tuesday, you might get one on Friday or Saturday. So there's a few days of lag time, but then, and you tell a little bit about yourself if you want to. Like you might say, I'm single, I'm alone, or you might say I have 5 or 6 kids, and then that would help the person decide with you what's best. Like, do you want a mini lasagna, or do you want a few of them with a couple to freeze, or do you want 2 big lasagnas? And sometimes people from Lasagna Love will deliver to, say, a homeless shelter or a fire station or something, and there might be a bigger project or a community kitchen. So it all just depends. It's very personalized to what everybody's need is. And I think it's a really good idea. It started during the beginning of the pandemic. There was a lovely lady, her name is Rhiannon Men, and she's a young mother, and I think saw some people on one of her community boards that were in need and made an offer to help with lasagnas, and it just really took off. And now it's this nationwide organization, and it's just such a beautiful thing because people can help each other during this difficult time where everybody's struggling. I'm sorry, I'm getting emotional.
It's such a sweet thing.
It's great because it's like no pressure if you're the recipient or the chef. You don't have to be committed to do it every week. If you're the chef or if you're the recipient, you don't have to feel like people are going to be in your business about things. It's contactless, though I have to admit sometimes if somebody pops out and says hello, that's always nice.
You like seeing the people probably.
Yeah, of course. And it's just it's a good thing. Just it's people helping other people. It's an old-fashioned grassroots kind of everybody helping somebody with something that they need. Sometimes and if you're a lasagna chef, you can make a side dish. If you want, there's no pressure. You don't have to do that, but you can. You can ask the person if they want any sides, or if maybe you don't have the time or money to do that. It's not, again, no pressure. Another thing.
Oh, that was an important thing. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but you had mentioned if you don't have the money,
yes,
somebody else would buy the ingredients.
Exactly. Like there's a lot of people that might not necessarily have the ability to afford all the lasagna ingredients because it can be expensive. And then there's other people that might not have the time, or they're stretched too thin, and they might not, or maybe cooking's just not their thing, and they might want to make a one-time donation or a recurring donation. And then some of the donations would go to people that want to do the lasagna making, but maybe have the time and the interest, but not the money. So everybody can help in their own specific way if they want to, or can receive if they need to. I've noticed on the Lasagna Love Facebook page, sometimes there's people who are now making lasagnas who at one point received lasagnas, or vice versa.
So it's like a pay it forward.
Exactly, it's like a pay it forward thing.
Beautiful.
And I just really enjoy it. And of course, when I make the lasagnas, I also like to make extra lasagnas for my own family because we love lasagna.
Yes.
So
we talked about
that
that.
we're gonna have lasagna.
Beth likes to make lasagna, one for her hubby, who I'm just going to mention that.
He loves lasagna.
Her husband is 100% Italian and looks so Italian. If you look up Italian in the encyclopedia, his picture shows up, right? And so I have an Italian grandmother, 100% Italian grandmother. I thought I was more Italian than that. I did my DNA, not so much, but I do have an Italian grandmother and like to cook Italian. Beth?
I'm about a million things, but not Italian, ironically enough.
But it's amazing. You don't have to be Italian to love Italian food and to want to cook Italian,
make a lasagna.
Or to make a lasagna, right? And that's the point here. And so we're going to talk a little bit later about that. We're going to go through our ingredients. We have everything kind of prepped here. Thanks so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
We love you, Dundalk. We love Delightfully Dundalk. And so thanks for letting us talk a little bit about the intro, and we're going to clear some things out and get started on the actual process of making our lasagna. Here is my homemade sauce. I actually made this sauce from scratch. You don't have to do that. You can use jarred sauce. Of course, homemade, I think it's better, but it's not required. Here's my ingredients. I have 2 example jars here just in case you don't want to make homemade. I pre-grated my cheese. I used a parmesan, a romano, an asiago. I have some fresh mozzarella slices here. I have my 3-meat mix, my pork, beef, and veal, my noodles, and now I'm browning my meat. I speeded up the video. I'm using my tool. Hey, so I decided to speed up our video a little bit. We were having so much fun and it was taking so long. And so here is Beth mixing the ricotta mixture. It has 2 eggs, ricotta cheese, and I'm adding some hand-grated parmesan. Perfect and delicious. We're going to whip it up really nice. I have this little extra touch that I do. It's not traditional, but I like to add a big scoop of softened cream cheese. It makes it really firm up. It firms up the mixture and the layer of cheese, and so your lasagna doesn't get too saucy. It stays pretty firm, and it's really nice. I'm going to add some olive oil to the bottom of my pan. Beth suggested we add a little more. Here I'm talking about my noodles. There are oven-ready noodles out there. They're pretty nice, but you don't need to use oven-ready. You can just use regular noodles, and you do not have to pre-cook them. That is not required. It's going to cook in the oven for an hour. The sauce is going to allow the noodles to cook. It's a little bit of a life hack. I added my ground 3-meat mixture. It's been drained and cooled and crumbled, and so I'm going to add a layer. Lasagna is all about the building and the layering, and so we work together as a team, sharing ideas, and she helped me press it down. We're going to pack it in and make it really nice and heavy and dense. There's more layering. The cheese really sets up nice when you add the cream cheese to it, and it gives it a little extra kick of flavor. Here's my homemade sauce. We mixed my homemade sauce in a jar sauce. I had bought the jar sauce just to show you that you absolutely do not have to make homemade sauce. You can if you are so inclined, but for years they've been doing it for you, and they got some really fabulous ones out there, really delicious ones. All the Italians are saying, what? No, you have to make homemade sauce. I made this from, obviously, canned tomatoes. Tomatoes aren't in season. Tomato paste, all of my spices, olive oil, browned some onion, added some pork for flavor, a little carrot for sweetness, and that's a beautiful thing. What's really good is when tomatoes are in season and you blend them up in your blender, but obviously they're not in season now. We did use some jar sauce too, as well, to complement it. I always layer a layer of provolone cheese. You do not have to do that, but I just really like the way that it makes it extra cheesy. Then I put some more sauce on top. I have my other cheeses that I grated here too. I have a Romano, a Parmesan. It has an Asiago. It's a really nice blend to make it even more cheesy, but I'm gonna put that on at the very end. I actually bake it this way for an hour first before I put the rest of the cheese on the top. Beth is going to do something special. I have some fresh sliced mozzarella here, and she is going to cut them into hearts. How cute is that? Lasagna Love, right? A little extra special touch. I've always admired, I've seen pictures of her lasagna on Facebook, the ones that she makes for her hubby, but also the ones that she delivers, and she always puts the hearts on top, and it's really cool. And look at that. You two can do that. How cute is that? It really made it lovely and more special. You're going to love our finished product. Look at this. This is before it's actually baked and gone into the oven. I added my cheese blends to it. I baked it for an hour first, then I added these toppings, my cheese blend, the mozzarella, and baked it. Beth is really sprucing it up. She's adding sauce to the end. She put some fresh tomatoes into the center. How cute is that? And some dried oregano to really define the hearts and the way the hearts look. If you heard a doorbell, that's Amazon. I have a delivery today. Always getting a delivery. But it's exciting, right? Look at how beautiful it turned out. So grateful for Lasagna Love. What a way to serve the community. What a way to give back. How amazing. I'm going to have my recipe in the link below, but more importantly, I'm going to have the link to the Facebook page and to Lasagna Love. I'd like for you, if you could get involved, do something for Dundalk, for your neighbors, for families in need. Cheers. A salute to everybody. What a great episode it was. Thanks. Subscribe, 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 and stay delightful, Dundalk.